Hello everyone, it's Vicky, Messy Stitcher here. Happy bank holiday to those of you that are having a nice lovely bank holiday break in the UK. Never sure what public holidays are like in America, so I'm not sure whether yours tie up with us, but we have a season kind of running through April, May, June that there seems to be lots of bank holidays in the UK, so we do quite well out of that. So yeah, thank you for coming to view my page. My channel rather. Thank you to anybody that's liked, subscribed, commented in the last few months, particularly the last month or so. I've seen a slight increase in my subscribers. I'm not sure why, because I haven't really posted anything, but it's really nice to see. And obviously I'm really grateful because I'm aware I'm one of the, I always say this, but I'm aware that I'm one of the Flosstubers that doesn't get videos out very often, so I always feel a little bit like I'm cheating a bit. Usually it's just because of life and things that get in the way. Please excuse my kind of scruffy appearance today. I just really couldn't be bothered. I'm having a kind of lazy day today, so I didn't kind of bother with the makeup and having my hair nice or anything, so forgive me. The lighting's not great behind me, and it's because I'm in my bedroom. I'm sitting in front of the window because I thought that might be quite good lighting to show you my projects, but it doesn't actually look like it's gonna make it that nice, so bear with me. Let's see if we can do something with this. No, that's not really doing an awful lot better, but maybe that will help a little bit. It's a little bit dull, so I'm sorry about that. I have got my usual list to remind me of stuff that I wanted to talk to you about, so hopefully we can get through that. There's lots to talk about today. Not so much lots of stitching, but lots of things to talk about and lots of plans that I've been making. I'm going to do this again. It doesn't seem to be. Okay, I'm sorry about this. It's anywhere in this house seems to be really bad for lighting. On a similar note, thank you to people that pointed out that the cross stitch craft room blog that I posted about a month ago was almost completely upside down. I have no idea why that happened. I think I assumed that my camera would kind of sort it out, and it seemed to be fine, and obviously it just didn't quite work, so apologies about that. So I've got a few things to talk about today. So just in terms of a life update very quickly, I started a new job, which I might have mentioned in my last post. I started a new job recently. It's going quite well, but I am really quite busy at the moment, not so much because of work, but just there's been April and May have been absolutely insane in terms of things like family birthdays, well, friends' birthdays actually more than family. Plans that I'd made a couple of months ago for the weekend, thinking, oh, that's ages away, and you know, when you have those whole periods of time where you just don't have any of the weekend to yourself. I'm not complaining because, you know, I've sort of seen a lot of friends and I've done a lot of stuff, but I'm ready for hopefully a quieter run now. So apart from a couple of bits and pieces I've got booked in, the next few weeks look like they're going to be a bit less crazy. Me and my boyfriend have deliberately kept next weekend free with no plans so that we can do, we're calling it our staycation, we're going to do something together, just us. Maybe go out a couple of trips or just do something nice, like watch a film. So yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to a little bit of calm. Actually, it feels like everything, it's unfortunate that the ever since I kind of started the new job, everything's happened, you know, like, so it's been lots of change, lots of busyness, and sometimes it's just been sort of felt a little bit too much. I've been decorating a lot, so obviously you know that we decorated my craft room, but we're also been decorating the main bedroom, and I won't show you yet because actually there's a lot of complications that came up while we were doing it. So things like plaster falling off, a huge portion of plaster falling off of one wall when it looks terrible. So even though the main decoration's finished, we've got one wall that looks a complete mess, and we've got building stuff everywhere in this room. So it's not actually that, kind of doesn't look that fresh and new to me, which is a bit of a shame, but hopefully when it's all sorted it will look a bit more presentable, and then I can kind of come back and show you a nice video of it. Apart from that, I've been having some kind of, nothing too major, but some health problems connected to my diagnosis. So I've kind of had a lot of medical appointments, which has been a complete pain with the new job because I've had to quite embarrassingly kind of asked for time off and stuff when I didn't really want to have to be having that conversation yet. So I've been having some tests. I've got a small operation, nothing major. It's like a biopsy thing coming up, because yeah, they've got a couple of concerns. I'm not too worried, but it's more the kind of just, it feels like this kind of stuff isn't going to stop, and you know, I just need a bit of time to chill out and do stuff. But hopefully that's kind of all calming down soon. I have had quite a cough and a cold recently. I was due to see my friend today to see her newborn baby, but I didn't think it was a good idea because we've both had quite bad colds. So forgive me if I'm kind of sort of clearing my throat a lot through the video. So the first thing I thought I'd do is a bit strange actually, but I suddenly realised I talk a lot about the fact that I don't really do mini kits. I don't really do kits from the front of magazines very often. It's because I just don't, you know, there's nothing, it's not snobbery of any kind, it's just that I'm just not, it's a bit silly really because I don't ever finish anything, but I'm much more into big projects, and I like the thrill of starting a new project and it having loads of colours and it being quite large, and I quite like detailed projects, so I don't tend to do lots of things like making cards, gift tags and stuff like that. So rather than throw them away though, I keep a kind of cardboard box of those mini kits. And I think I mentioned a few blogs ago that in sort of towards Christmas time, late November, I had a little craft party, and for Christmas I did like Christmas food like roast potatoes and turkey and cakes and stuff, and I did a kind of lucky dip where everybody got a present from Santa, and it was one of the Christmas little mini kits I had. So I got rid of a lot of them that way because I kind of like to do something with them. I'm thinking of doing a summer version of that. I say a party, it wasn't really a party, it was just kind of some friends and family that I know are into crafts came by and we kind of had a nice cozy evening together. So I might try to do another one of those in the summer because I want to kind of start it as my tradition. I think that'll be really nice. So I kind of thought I'd just show you what I have, you know, what do I have in that box, and it's not going to be anything amazing, but it's kind of some magazine kits, and you might recognise some of them. Some of them were mine, some of them I actually got from my aunt, who I don't know if you remember a while ago, she gave me kind of a big pile of her cross-stitcher magazines that she didn't want anymore, so I kind of inherited some of them. Quite often I've started them, I've kind of done a few stitches just when occasionally I have a day when I think actually I just want to work on something simpler, or I feel like I want to finish something in a day. I don't often finish them, even if I start kind of, I never find that magazine projects are quite as quick as they make themselves out to be, so even though they're small, when it will say like 3 hours, I don't get them finished. So some of them are kind of half started, so I have to, if I am going to give any away, I have to kind of work out what I can give away. But without further ado, I thought I would show you. So I might have shown you this one before. This is a Cute Pup Pals 2-in-1 bookmark and card kit, and this was with Cross Stitch Crazy. It was, the idea is you can kind of make a bookmark and you insert it into insert it into kind of a card frame there. I didn't particularly like the design. I'm not a dog person, and it's not my kind of thing usually, but at the time my cousin, who I'm really close with, had just got a dog, so I was going to make a dog bookmark and send it to her, but obviously that ship sailed a bit now. But that's how much I did. I did like one of the squares, so it's not, I don't know, that's the thing, I get bored and I kind of give up. But what I could do is unpick that little bit that I've done, parcel it back up again and give it away to somebody. So yeah, so that's something I've got. I might, you know, if I have a bit of a, I'm hoping that summer will be a bit less busy for me, and I'll have a bit of time to finish off a few things. My focus at the moment, which I'll go into later, really is about I know a lot of people say this, and I've said it before and haven't really done this, but really trying to use what I have in my stash. And it's not about not starting new things. I mean, I've got plenty of kits I can start new. I might treat myself to like 1 or 2 things, because there's quite a lot of things like soda stitch patterns that I've seen that I really like. But I do have this sense of, firstly, I've taken a pay cut to be in my new job, and I also have to pay a lot more in pension contributions, which means that disposable income's gone down. We're trying to save for a holiday. I don't have the money to buy anything else for quite a long while now, and I've got plenty to be getting on with. So I'm really trying to make the most of what I've got, and there's something quite fun about that, actually. No pressures in terms of like deadlines and stuff like that, but I just want to focus a little bit more on trying to actually kind of, you know, dig back into the stuff that I started and kind of revisit it. So maybe when I get a chance, I'll kind of do a bit more on that. So I've got this heart necklace kit. I think this made, yeah, Cross Stitch Crazy. This was like one of those wooden necklace kits. I did do a similar one for my mum quite a long time ago, a butterfly shaped one from Cross Stitch magazine, but I haven't used that one yet. Christmas tags, these were from Cross Stitch magazine. I actually, as I said, don't normally like things like this, but I actually really like these, and I would like to try and make them in time for Christmas, because I mean, that's doable. I say that's doable. This Christmas I said I was going to have all handmade gift tags, and it didn't happen, but it would be nice. So I might actually save these for myself. I'm just seeing if I've done any. It doesn't look like I did. I thought I had started 1 or 2, but it doesn't look like I have. But yeah, no, I'm kind of thinking that I might kind of keep that by. That's the other thing with Christmas stuff. I'm going to try and get my head. It never works, obviously, because I never get things finished, but I'm going to try and get myself. I always try to think the couple of seasons ahead. So if I'm in summer, my focus is really on Christmassy stuff, and vice versa, but it doesn't really happen. This is quite sweet. Cute festive frames kit. Stitch Rudolph and his Robin Cow from Cross Stitch Crazy. They're quite sweet. That'd be a nice little thing for the giveaway. Hot air balloon kit, which is quite sweet, by Hell's Couple Ditch, and this was from Cross Stitch Crazy. So a little cat and a dog in an air balloon in a card, which is quite nice, and that's all. Haven't started that. These are nice. Just these are the Margaret Sherry. I quite like her designs. Happy birthday cards. You've got a little. They've got the little buttons attached to them as well. I quite like looking through the mini kits, because my grandma used to do this when I was little. She used to collect, I don't think she does cross stitch anymore because of her eyesight, but she used to have like a kind of a bit of a pile upstairs in her bedroom, and when I used to come around, she used to kind of let me pick one to work on. So yeah, it reminds me of that. I've got this is a vintage charm floral frame kit, and I think this was from Cross Stitch Crazy as well. This is a cat bookmark. I am a cat person, but I'm not particularly keen on this design, but again, that could be something I could give away. These are nice, actually. I've got a friend who really likes butterflies, so I might try and make something for her. So this is by Lucy Heaton, and this is a set of 3 cards. You get quite a nice little card for them to sit in as well. This is an Emma Congdon one, which I've seen a lot of people do on kind of the Facebook forums. Home Sweet Home in a little blue hoop, which is nice. So I've got some gift tags here. These are birthday ones, which are quite sweet. These were free. I think these were inherited from my aunt from Cross Stitch magazine. They're quite summery. I'm sorry, the colours come out very dull on this camera. They're very yeah, it doesn't ever come out very nice. I'm not overly keen on this one, but this is another Cross Stitch one I inherited. This is a vintage rose brooch kit. And a Hetty Hedgehog pincushion kit, which I thought was quite nice. I'm sure my mum would like that, actually. I've got a floral heart keyring kit, so another kind of wooden one there, which is quite sweet. That's actually quite nice for a present for somebody. Wasn't that keen on these, and actually I think a lot of this stuff's gone missing, but this was a Christmas set from Cross Stitcher, which was Winter Wonderland mini brooch kits, but you know you can make them into gift tags, couldn't you? This is a recent one. This was from Cross Stitch Crazy, and these are really nice. These are kind of summery. I really like these ones actually. I might actually keep them for myself. And then I've got this, which is nice, and I think a pen pal sent this to me. It says Cross Stitch Crazy, but I think actually it was given to me. And this is a mini sachet kit, which is quite sweet. And it's not a mini kit as such, but I just wanted to show you. I have shown you these before, but these are something that I've kind of. So I don't know if you've heard of the Nutmeg Company. They kind of specialise in 3D cross stitch. I'm not a huge fan of their stuff because it's not my kind of thing, but I did pick these up a really long time ago on one of the cross stitch shows, and it's these cross stitch cards, and I've actually started this candle one here before. I quite like them, so I'm thinking of trying to do a couple of them for people's Christmas presents. This is what I had done on the candle one. Let's see if I can get. Oh, it's a bit nicer, yeah. There you go. So that's quite nice. So I actually might try to finish that if I possibly can. So they're just some things that either I'll give away or things that I can kind of pick up when I've got a bit of a craving to start something new and I don't want to kind of commit to anything much. So they're okay, but as I say, they do tend to stay in a box. But I thought I'd show you because I don't really tend to show you much from that side of things. So there you go. Yeah, let's have a look. So. Yes, so I mentioned that I'm starting to think about Christmas and some of the things I can get done for that. So I've got a few Christmas things I'd like to show you. So I have a Christmas whip, which I'm not really seeing in terms of I could do this year. But let me show you the Christmassy ones of what I'm working on or what I'm planning to do. I do have another one. Let me see. Something's gone missing. I've got a cross stitch kit, but I just can't find it. 1 second. No. I've been working on, I have shown it to you before, I've been working on something called We Wish You a Merry Christmas by Emma Condon, and it's really nice actually, and I think I might get that finished. Oh, this is awful, I'm yawning and wandering off everything, I feel really tired all of a sudden, but I haven't got that to show me, but maybe what I'll do is I'll post it on Stitch Mania group at some point. So just in terms of Christmassy stuff, not necessarily things I think I'm going to finish. So you might remember that I was working on this, which is called Santa's Map by the Gold Collections I mentioned. Lovely kit that I found online. And I'm pleased to say it's not very much, but I did pick this up the other day. And I made a nice exciting change, which was I gave him his glasses. So hopefully you can, let me see if I can. Here you go, so he has glasses now. You can't see, but that's actually a sparkly gold colour. So I was really pleased with that actually, because that was kind of quite fun doing those glasses. So he's got his kind of red cheeks and his glasses. But this is one that's going to take a while. But I have to say I'm quite enjoying the fact that that's on Ada and not having to think about it too much. Which is nice. This is one that I started. I haven't got anything more to show you than what I'd done probably last time I showed it to you, but just as a reminder, this is one I'm hoping might be realistic to get done because this is mostly backstitch with quite sparse cross stitching, apart from one which is in the ribbon that's quite dense, and it stitches up really quite quickly. So this was a design, I can't remember remember who designed this actually, it's a shame. It's Maria Diaz, and it was from Cross Stitcher, November 2014. And it's a lovely kind of, you know, purple lilacs, mint green, lovely kind of almost like a 60s kind of look to it. I've possibly done a tiny bit more since I saw you, but it's annoying because I'm finding it really difficult to find. I'm struggling to find threads that I'm missing. So every now and then I'll go online, I'll go into a shop, or I'll go to the Cross Stitch show, and I'll try to get hold of some of the threads that I need to kind of keep me going with some of my whips. And there's some colours that I can just never seem to get hold of. So this one has quite a main purple that I can't get at the moment. It's really dirty, this, because I was stupidly eating chocolate at the time. I've got it on it, so it's going to need washing. But that's how much I've done. But it does come up very neat, and I just like the fact that it looks neat and tidy. And you know, when I think I did that in about 2 evenings worth while I was off on a week off from work. So it kind of shows you how quickly you could get it done, that one, if you really stuck to it. Okay. Just to remind you, so this is one I'd like to kind of chart up and kind of get kit up for before this Christmas. So this is Snowman Wisdom by Sue Hillis Designs, and I love her stuff. I always show you this, it's just a reminder. This is some stuff this is one I'm hoping to kind of actually get some threads for. Because actually, if you look at that, I mean, if you could probably, I mean, I'm sure that will probably take longer than it looks like it would take, but you know, anything that's a bit sparse like that is less to do. It's obviously got the American spelling of accessorize. You guys put Z's in everything, we put S's in everything. But I'm not too bothered about that. And that would be nice. This is a kit that I have got kitted up for the threads, but I just haven't started it yet. Again, I think it's one that possibly I'm missing one of the main colours, which probably put me off. But this was by, who was this by? That's annoying. I don't know who it's by, but it's called Cookie Sampler, and I've seen it in a couple of magazines, so I think it's quite a popular design. And it's quite simple, but really nice. Cookies for Santa. Bit boring colour palette, but the actual effect of it I really like, and I know a couple of people that would really like that. So that's one that I'll think about starting fairly soon. And this, again, don't know if this is from Ultimate Sentiments Christmas, which is one of those bumper magazines. Sugar and spice and all things nice, that's what Christmas is made of. At the time, I didn't start this because I just finished that Frosted Pumpkin Christmas Village one, and I kind of felt a bit like sort of a very similar kind of concept, but I kind of think I could get started on that at some point soon. So I've got some Ada for it, so I think I've got about half of the thread that I need. So then another Sue Hillis one. Another Christmas sampler, which I really like the colour palette. I really like pink at Christmas. I think it's quite vintage and quite nice, so you've got that one there. So that's lovely. And another Sue Hillis Christmas one, and this is one I showed quite a lot. I'm not quite as bothered about this actually. I kind of, it doesn't really call to me as much as I thought it did when I first got it, but it's one that, you know, is there and I can kit up as and when I really feel like it. So those are some Christmas things. I guess this is a Christmas thing that I can show you. So you, again, absolutely no progress on it whatsoever, but you'll remember my Royal Holiday Mirabilia design, and this was for my mum. Now, I don't think it's, knowing me, knowing what my circumstances are this year with being busy in a new job and everything else that's coming up, I think it's unlikely that I would get to a point where I would finish this. So I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself, but this was meant for my mum. And when I look, it's one of those things that when I got really, I think I've said this so many times, but with Mirabilia designs, I think they look stunning. Personally, to stitch them, I find them quite tedious. I don't know why, I just find them, there's nothing that, sometimes it's funny, you can start something and think, oh, I'm not going to find this that fun. and actually you'll stitch up and you think, oh wow, you know, so for example, the Historical Sampler Company, I mean, I really like their designs, but they're quite blocky, and whenever I go to look at one, I think, oh, I can't be bothered, but when I start them, I really, really enjoy them. With Mirabilia, I kind of feel like it's the other way around. It looks so amazing, and you think, oh, I'm going to really enjoy this, and there's such rich colours, but I don't know whether it's because there's just so much of some colours that you kind of get a bit kind of frustrated at not doing anything else. But yeah, I just didn't really feel it, so I've left this for a really long time, probably about a year now, and I'm thinking that I might pick it up and try and do a bit more with it. So it's really hard to show you this properly, but oh, it's terrible. I don't even have anything. Hang on. Don't know if that helps at all. Not really. But that's how much I've done of her. So I did a big chunk, but she has got so much to go. You think you've got somewhere, and then you realise you've got the whole. So it's probably more helpful if I show you this. So I've basically done some of that kind of traily bit there and some of this, but I've got all of this section to do, which is really going to be time consuming when I think how much the top part took me. And I haven't done any of this beading or anything like that, and I haven't got the beads yet. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I kind of feel quite aware that that might not be one that gets done for a few years. I didn't do the 1/1 on the face either. I know it's very popular, and I actually thought about it because I really much prefer. I can definitely see how that improves the look of things, but to be honest, it just seemed like another thing to drag it out, so I didn't. Is there anything else Christmassy? No, there's nothing else Christmassy. So that's kind of Christmas plans, is to try. I really like Soda Stitch do some really lovely cross stitch patterns, and if you could look it up perhaps, because it would be hard for me to show you now, but I bought my mum their Christmas Village design, and she really liked it, and she started that already, and I just love the colours in Soda Stitch design, so I've kind of got this urge to get one of their kits, so I might do that. But other than that, Christmas wise, I think I've got a few things that I can either start that I've already got the charts for, or just, you know, continue. And as I say, I have the Emma Congdon one. I actually have another Emma Congdon one in my inbox somewhere, a PDF file. So, you know, I've got enough to be getting on with. My whips, it's annoying I can't show you the other kit because that's the main one that I've been working on. I'll have to see if I can find it somewhere, but just to update you, I haven't done an awful lot on this since I last saw you. You might not even be able to tell the difference, but just to remind you, this was the Teddy Bear Sampler by Leslie Tier, and that was in cross stitch gold. So that's the kit that I had started on, and I decided to do this on a different colour, kind of blush colour fabric that I had got from the cross stitch show, knitting and stitching show, and I haven't done very much of this. I really haven't made that much progress, but you might be able to see I've done that much, which is kind of one of the teddy bears little tops, and that's all I've done so far. Yes, so that was one that I'm really keen on actually, but it's quite summery, so naturally being summer I've gravitated towards the Christmassy ones now. But it's quite a pleasant thing. I think when I've got a bit of time off I might be able to have a look and kind of get into that, because there's quite nice kind of amount of block stitching in that actually. This again, don't think there's been a huge amount of progress since I last did the piece. I kind of forget what I've shown you and what I haven't shown you, so it might be that this is new. So this is a design for a recipe for apple and blackberry crumble, and this appeared in the Ultimate Home cross stitch magazine. So there's something about, it's not really my usual stuff, there was something about it I really liked, and I'm doing it for my aunt who really likes cooking. And I got really far with the backstitch parts, but again, can't find all of the colours. I haven't got a really important purple colour that I need to kind of make progress on this, which was frustrating. So I was making the amount that I've done on it, really, I mean, it's so, just to show you again, it's so sparse in the way of actual cross stitch. There's not loads and loads to do. So all I've been able to do is, you see, I've done all of this writing, and I've done a small amount of what I could on some of the blackberries, but I was just disappointed because I actually felt like, you know, I'd made real progress. So I'm hoping to just carry on and try and get that colour sometime soon. A couple of UFOs I wanted to mention. So this is a bit the bane of my life at the moment. This is A Good Marriage by Lizzie Kate. This was supposed to be for my friend's wedding sampler, and to be honest, it's so far gone now, I'm not sure. You know, maybe I'll do it for an anniversary or something, or 5-year anniversary or something. I'm not really enjoying this. I normally like Lizzie Kate's, but I think one of the things I'm not enjoying is having such a large piece of linen to have to work with. It's quite a coarse, kind of scratchy linen as well. So that's all I've done, and I haven't done anything since I last showed you this. This is now in the realms of a UFO, really. I've even admitted to her, because she knew I was working on something, and I was worried that she might be, you know, think, oh, you know, where is it, kind of thing. So I did mention to her that, you know, I hadn't done as much as I wanted to, and she said, oh, you know, don't be silly, it doesn't matter to me. But I kind of thought, oh, it's a shame, really, but it just isn't something that appeals to me. I think I'm kind of a bit burnt out with Lizzie Kate. I've done about 3 now, so it's kind of, I feel like I've been there, done that with some of them. Then there's this one which I really like. I just haven't had the opportunity because I've been focusing on other pieces to really start on it. So this is the Mirabilia Fairy Flora, which my mum picked for me for my last birthday, and I really, really like it. Really like it. It's my mum's picked one of the best ones she could. All I'd put on my birthday list was a Mirabilia, and she's picked a really lovely one with lovely colours. So I really want to kind of get going with this a little bit. There's some really nice beads that I'm really looking forward to using, and the linen's really lovely and soft and really kind of good quality. I'm using a gold John James needle on it as well, so it just all feels a bit more luxurious. I've only done a tiny amount of stitching there, which is a part of her dress, so I might actually, it's one of those ones I might kind of start to focus on a bit more. I might actually keep that out for today, because yeah, that's one, I don't know if the problem is Mirabilis, I think maybe it's just certain ones, but that one I'm really keen on, so I'm going to kind of keep that out. And some other ones that I kind of want to work on, I again mentioned them to you a couple of times. So this is one that is by the Historical Sampler Company. I got it in the sale for just £9, which is really cheap. But I know that it's one of the ones that when I start it I'm going to really enjoy it, because I really enjoyed doing the other kits from them. But it's just when you look at it, nothing really stands out, so you tend to think, but actually it's lovely. It's Good Friends Are Like Stars. You don't have to see them to know they're there, and I wanted to do it for my friend who's been going through a really hard time, and it's a lovely kit and I know she'd like it. As I say, I really enjoyed doing anything by this company. They're not the most exciting looking designs, but actually they're really pleasant stitch, because you can just sit there. I used to really like kind of really fiddly ones where you have to keep looking at the chart, and I've really realised the value of making progress on one where you can think, okay, I've just got to do a whole line here and I don't have to keep looking. So I don't actually mark my charts off anymore unless it's very fiddly and complicated. So yeah, these are ones that you can kind of get into a rhythm with and sort of stitch without overly having to check the pattern. So I would like to start that, so we'll see. in my head I always think every Christmas that I'm going to give people these amazing presents and they're going to love it, but yeah. And just a reminder, this Four Seasons Village by Soda Stitch, which was one my mum got for me, and lovely colours, and 32 count Belfast linen, again really good quality. So really nice colours. I love those. I just haven't started it yet, so I'd like to. I just need to kind of get a move on actually. So I might make a point of starting these two and my Mirabilia today, just to mix it up a bit. I do have some crochet stuff to show you, but I know not everybody's particularly interested in that, so I might leave that just till the end, just in case you're thinking, oh, don't show me that. This is how tragically behind I am with my cross stitch magazine. So I subscribe to Cross Stitch Crazy and Cross Stitch Gold. I would estimate that at the moment I'm probably about 6 months behind on both of them. I was trying to read them in order because I'm a bit kind of OCD about stuff, because I don't like when I read letters where people have sent in stuff and things I haven't seen yet. But it's got too difficult to try to keep up. But basically I've been making a point of, rather than my book, actually reading magazines at work, but I've only got through 1.5 at the moment, so I'll show you the cross stitch magazine that I've actually managed to look at. It's just a random one I picked out from my pile of unread, so it's issue 137 of Cross Stitch Gold. This one's really nice. This is by Leslie Tier, and I think it's a bit confused. I'm not the most cultured person in the world, but I thought this was a bit strange. So when I look at that, I don't think Italian, I think Spanish. Apparently it's supposed to be an Italian lady, and then it's called Siesta in the Sun. I think it's a bit of a, and her actual dress as well looks almost a different part of Europe. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I just thought it was strange. It was kind of labelled an Italian lady, but I don't know. I like it. I'm not sure it's my thing, but I thought it was quite funny. It seemed a bit confused, but maybe someone can correct me there. This one, for some reason, I really like, and it's not my usual thing at all. But I like this designer, and I like that she uses colour a little bit differently to other people. She's quite unique with how she designs. Carol Thornton Underwater Scene. Now, I'm not into fish, I'm not particularly into nautical themes or seaside themes or anything, but there's something about that I really like. So I am going to keep that in mind, because I think there might be someone or something I could do that for. This one I really like, and I love this designer anyway, because I think she gets backstitch detail really well on her designs. Shannon Vosselet, I'm probably saying that wrong, and it's Elegant Mermaid, and I definitely want to do that. I love mermaids, and I think she's just got some really good detail on the face. So that's one for my wish list. This one I'm not sure about. This is by Amanda Gregory, and it's called Gardening Sampler, and I actually not really into gardening, but there's something about this that I quite like, the seed packets and things like that. So maybe I'll do that for someone. I don't know who. Sorry, I'm just going to look through, see if there's anything else. I don't think there was anything else in here that really caught my eye. Oh, this is okay. Maybe not the kind of top of the list, but this is quite nice. This is by Amanda Gregory again, who's another designer I do really like. It's kind of a summery cushion with like a mint green backing on, which is lovely. So that's quite nice. Yeah, so that's it for Cross Stitch Gold. I like the quality of Cross Stitch Gold projects, because obviously they're designed for people that want a little bit more detail. I really like them. I have to say there isn't anything particularly, there's not many that really jump out to me, but the mermaid and the fish one in here I'd be quite keen on, but there might be things there that you've seen that you want to look at as well. I would recommend Cross Stitch. I'm obviously not selling for anybody, but I would recommend Cross Stitch Gold as a magazine, because it is very centred on kind of quite intricate designs that are quite kind of the sort of things I like to do, kind of larger designs. And I don't know, I just feel like there's always something quite different about the designs in that you can really sink your teeth into a project. So if you're somebody that sometimes finds some of the designs in other cross stitch magazines a little bit samey, I think Cross Stitch Gold is a good one to try and get into. There's 2 books that I've got recently. I don't think I've shown you these. So this was Gloriophila, the Ultimate Needlepoint Collection. Now this is a book I picked up at a boot sale. I'm really sorry if I've shown you these before, but I don't think I have. I realised stupidly that needlepoint is not the same as cross stitch, but there is lots of stitches. I mean, they're basically slightly different stitches, but mostly, you know, I think they could be converted to cross stitch. There's so many to mention in here, but I'm going to show you the projects that I like. And I think that most of them could be converted to cross stitch because they're kind of tapestries and things that could work. So it's really lovely. So shells and butterflies. I won't show you everything, but I'll show you the ones that I particularly like. There is a lot, very rich sort of fabrics. This I really like, so Fabulous Fruit. Really bright colours. So that there's some sort of Christmas decorations there you can make. It's very kind of, they've put a lot of effort into the look of them. There's these tartan cushions and things which are really nice. So yeah, so they're obviously aimed for tapestry for cushions, but there's, you know, no reason why you couldn't do them as crosses instead. So they've got these things like this lovely kind of rug, that this one underneath that you could easily translate into cross stitch. So she has, you know, she has whole collections like this, you know. So she's really taken inspiration from different kinds of ceramics and artwork and kind of turned it into projects. Some of them are a little bit horse and country for me, but there's others of them that I really like. They're quite kind of cultural influences. Oh yeah, I think that's the bulk of them. But if you can find it strikes me as the kind of book you could probably find online for quite a good discount through Amazon used books or something. But really enjoyed looking through that. And I went to a local park that has kind of a house that you can look, stately home that you can look through, and they have a second-hand bookshop and loads of dusty shelves and stuff. It was perfect for me. And I came across this Cross Stitch Teddies by Jane Elliott. It's amazing what you find these places. So again, love these designs. There's so much that I like, but just to find a cuddle of Teddy. Baby Bear's Arrival. Sweet Dream Teddies. I mean, there's all sorts in here. It's lovely flower seed teddy. Really nice. Again, a book that I think you could pick up fairly cheap online, second-hand copy. It looks a little bit 90s. It looks a little bit dated now, but it's still, you know, still nice. Yeah, some really nice stuff. Oh, and this is lovely, Victorian teddy bear Christmas stocking. Yeah, so that's all the cross stitch stuff that I have to show you. I do have some crochet to show you quickly. I'm going to try and make this video just under an hour. We're at 45 minutes. Let's try and do this quickly, so bear with me. Okay, so first things first, just to remind you, this is more of a UFO than a actual project. But these, I thought it might be nice to show you. So you might remember that when I first started crocheting, I did a really simple pattern, or started a really simple pattern, which is Baby Chunky, and it's this blue sort of turquoisey pattern there. Very simple design, and now I'm more used to crochet. I know that it is simple. It didn't feel simple when I first started doing it. I've been using this wool called Baby Blossom Chunky in various shades. So there's another shade that I've got, which is a red one. So unfortunately, as predicted, didn't get things done that I wanted to for when babies were due. But I've played around with this a bit, and you know, there's plenty of babies always coming. I'm sure I'll find one. So this was I can't remember, this was my favourite colourway of this wool. It's really soft. And it's so variegated, and it was so nice to work with. And this, unfortunately, because this is my very first attempt, it's very wonky and I can't use this for anybody, but this was just an example, and it's basically lots of puff stitches, and if you just do them over and over again. And the wool is just amazing to work with. I really like it. So this is a purple version that I started. Does look slightly wonky. I've learnt a bit more about crochet now, so I understand why that happened. So I might unravel this and start again. That's the kind of lavender colour. And as I say, I've got this red colour as well, which is quite gender neutral. It's not too pinky. I think you could use that for a boy. So yeah, so that's one that is a bit of a UFO really, but something that I might kind of pick up again. I've been doing really well with my cupcake blanket by Attic 24 cupcake striped blanket. I've done a lot of stripes now, but believe me, I'm only about a quarter of the way through, so there's a lot more to go. But there we go. So loads and loads of colours, and I feel like I'm really getting into a rhythm with it. I haven't worked on it for about a month just because I've had other stuff going on, but it's one that's really easy to kind of pick up and kind of just pick up where you started, because there's two types of rows really. There's these kind of 2 rows of just completely straightforward trebles, and then you have these which are kind of clusters, treble clusters, and that's it, and you just repeat it. And what I really like is that you don't get bored because the order of the colours changes, so it's never the same. It's not like a cycle that keeps repeating. It's kind of all mixed up, which is really cool. Talking about Attic 24, last project I want to mention to you. I don't know how many of you know her Moorlands blanket, but it's a blanket that's inspired by the Yorkshire Moors, the colours in them, and it's a lovely colour palette. It's all greens and browns and purple, so the idea is it actually graduates like a field, and it goes through the greens and the browns for the mud and the grass, through to lavenders for the flowers. So it's a really nice effect. Really enjoying it so far. I haven't done very much at all because I had to do a test swatch and that took a bit of time, but I'm just on the kind of 3rd colour at the moment, so it's not looking much, but it taught me a new stitch, which was the half treble. So yeah, so I'll keep you posted with that for those of you that are interested. So yeah, so quite busy on the crochet front, not quite as much done on cross stitch. I hope that wasn't too boring for you. I was actually going to show you some wish lists on Etsy, but to be honest, I think that would be a bit overkill, so I might leave that for next time. Thank you for watching. Thanks so much again for subscribing and commenting. I'm sorry that I often don't reply to comments, and it's nothing personal. It's just I'm just terrible at that kind of thing, and I think rather than make any promises, just know that I really appreciate anything that you post. I'm really grateful, and thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon. Bye.